Well, hello everyone, it's Kari. Today I am excited to share this small stamp set that was just released at Missing Stamps. It's called Just Sayings They Are Not. And you might realize why when you read some of these sentiments like, I'm lost without you, you're a trooper, savor the moment, getting old you are, a card, just a card it is not, have a rebellious day, you are too cool, and more. It's so much fun. I am inspired. And so I thought I'd make a square card today with this stamp set. And I'm also going to bring in some of the Space Fighter mini dies, which were a limited edition release. Hopefully you were able to get your hands on these. I don't know if these are going to be re-released in the future, but I would keep an eye open if I were you. They are so good. So I'm starting with some little squares that I've cut just using a square die cut. It's got some pierced details around the edges. And these squares measure about 1 7/8 inches. They are perfect for fitting on a square card. I'm going to use a square card that is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So just to give you an idea, you could use a smaller square, you could use a little bit larger square. You have a little leeway in the sizes. So now that I've inked those on with some blue ink and some dark blue, kind of black ink as well, I'm going to take some ink in the same blue color. This is the archival ink and it's faded jeans color. And I'm going to stamp on a few little pew-pews. Those are also from this new stamp set. I'm just going to stamp them a little bit here and there on these squares. So that's going to be kind of a little background nod to what's going on here. And now to make a few stars, make it feel more like a galaxy, I've got some white acrylic paint here, and I'm going to place these squares into my splatter box. So hopefully I don't get white splatters all over my work surface. I did a little bit still, but I tried to keep it all in the box here. But you can see I just watered down this acrylic paint a little bit, and I'm using my paintbrush to kind of splatter on some of these little stars to make it feel more like a galaxy. So I did quite a few so that they would show up really nicely, and I used a smaller paintbrush. Next, I'm going to create the background panel for these squares to sit on. I'm taking the Art Deco stencil from Missing Stamps, and I'm going to arrange this on my panel. It kind of looks like around the edges there's like mini space fighters. At least in my imagination there was. And so I thought this would work perfect for the card. Now I've got some mica spray here. This is the, I'll link it. I can't remember the name of this one, but it's a gray, silvery gray, and it's so pretty. And I'm going to spray this over the stencil and that panel, and it's going to create such a beautiful design. Now I'm going to set that aside to dry while I work on these Space Fighter mini dies. I cut most of them out of white cardstock, kind of thicker cardstock, 100 pound. And then I also cut some of the Space Fighters out of silver metallic cardstock. But the white ones I thought I'd just add a little bit of color to, just to give them a little bit of dimension and pop. So I'm going to color one of the lightsabers red. You'll see I've made 2 cards today. The first card I made, I clicked time lapse instead of record a regular video. So I had to redo all of this part. So that's why you're going to see 2 cards at the end. They're a little bit different in variations. But I wanted to show you how easy it is to just add a little bit of color to these dies, and it really does make a difference in the way they turn out in the end as well. So you can see a little bit of gray for this little robot here, a little blue and a little red, and that's cute just like that. Then for a really well-known character here, I'm going to bring in some neutral grays. And I'm just going to give it a little bit of darkness around the edges, fade that to the middle with a lighter color, and then go in with an even lighter shade all the way in the middle. Once I have that done, I'm going to add some more dark colors to some of the details. So those will pop right out. So you'll see that a little better in the finished cards at the end, but just wanted to show you that. And then this little guy, he's so cute. Just a little bit of color to him as well. So there's all our images, and now I've got to choose a sentiment. And there's so many great sentiments here, but for this one I decided to choose Have a Rebellious Day, since I colored the little lightsaber with some red. I thought this one would work really well. For my other one, I cut out one that says You Are Too Cool. But I'm going to use some of those sentiments also from this stamp set on the inside of these cards. Now I went around the edge of this one with a little bit of blue, just using a finger dauber. And now I'm going to go ahead and attach these square tiles to a few other die cut squares the same size. That's going to give it some dimension, make it pop up off this background. But look how cool the frame around this looks from that stencil behind. I think it looks pretty cool. So I'm just going to arrange all these, glue all these down, and get that going. Just like this. Then we can add our sentiment. For the sentiment, I'm just going to add it straight down with some liquid adhesive, and then I'm going to add all these little elements to the squares around it. So I'm just arranging those in a way that I think makes sense, although I know I'm going to hear maybe an earful from any real fans, including my husband. Go ahead, tell me in the comments what you think. I did love all these elements together though, and I just think it looks so cool. And they each have their own square, so really they're kind of broken up into different story segments. And that's what I'm telling myself in my head, and I think it works great. This one is finished just about, just got a few more to glue down, and I'm making sure to add some glue to all the little pieces inside because I didn't knock those out. I kept them in and I just added a little color. So I want to make sure to get glue on all of those pieces. And now for the card base, I'm cutting down a regular A2 size card to be a square. So it's 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And you can make it open either way. You can make it open up and down or sideways like this. But since this is my Rebellious Day card, I thought to have it open up and down would be really fun and not normal. Not like a normal card opening. It's a rebellious card after all. So there we go. That's what it looks like so far. And now I decided, here's my first card, by the way, with the You Are Too Cool. And you can see there's a little difference. I ink blended over the back of this one, and I didn't ink blend over the one we made together. So see how they look a little different? So you can decide which way you like better. Now I'm going to stamp a sentiment on the inside because I thought these sentiments were too cool to not use. So for this one, I'm going to stamp in the sentiment that says a card, just a card, it is not. And I thought that was so fun. My husband's going to love that one. And the one that says Have a Rebellious Day on the front, I'm going to say on the inside, Getting Old You Are, which I think is a pretty cool sentiment. I love all of them. You can tell I just couldn't stop using them. But that's going to be it today. These are going to finish off my cards. Here's a closer look at both of them. The Rebellious Day, the You Are Too Cool. I really love how these turned out. I hope you do too. Leave me a comment. Let me know which one is your favorite, what sentiment you would use, and if you agree with my placement of these dies. I'd love to hear. I'll be back real soon with more inspiration, more cards to share. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time. Oh, and give this a thumbs up if you liked it. All right, bye-bye.